You take your first breath, and before anyone even says your name out loud, a government file has already been opened on you. Not a birth certificate, a rank, a permanent secret score deciding your school, your job, your food, and who you'll be allowed to marry, based entirely on something your grandfather did 70 years ago, in a war that ended before your parents even existed. You will never see this file. You will spend your entire life inside a system you're not allowed to look at. This isn't fiction. It's called Songbun, and it's deciding your life right now, along with 26 million others. Let's open your file anyway. You're born in North Korea in a hospital with peeling paint and no heating in winter. Before you're even given a name, a clerk somewhere is already updating a record that has existed in some form since the late 1950s, built while Kim Il-sung was consolidating total control over the country. Here's the part that should actually disturb you. Your file isn't kept in one place. It exists in 4 separate locations: local administration, regular police, secret police, and party-affiliated organizations, deliberately duplicated so that no family can ever quietly erase or fake their history. 4 independent copies of your worth, cross-checked against each other, forever. Your great-grandfather was a farmer. He didn't fight for the regime during the war. He didn't fight against it either. He just tried to survive. But neutral was never an acceptable answer. Your family gets classified hostile. You are 6 hours old. You will never see this file. And you have already lost. Officially, there are 3 tiers: core, wavering, hostile. Roughly 28% of the population sits in the top tier, 45% in the middle, and 27%, nearly 30 million people, born and unborn, permanently in the bottom. But defectors who've actually served inside the system describe something far more granular underneath those 3 labels. Some cite over 50 distinct subranks. Others describe at least 30 separate castes, tracked by police and party officials. Nobody outside the system is ever told the exact number, and nobody inside is ever told their exact rank either. You just learn, slowly, humiliatingly, where your ceiling is. One rejection at a time, one closed door at a time, until the shape of the cage becomes obvious, even though you've never seen the blueprint. At 6 years old, on your first day of school, you're seated in a classroom with 3 invisible tracks running through it. The core class kids get the best textbooks and the teachers who actually invest in them. Extra attention, extra encouragement, a straight path toward the capital. You get neither. Nobody says why out loud. Nobody has to. You just notice, the way children notice everything, that you're being treated like you already failed at something you were never told you were being tested on. You're 17. Your math scores are the best in your district. There's a university in Pyongyang that could change everything. For you, for your family, for generations. You already know the answer before you apply. Songbun determines almost everything that matters: education, occupation, party membership, military rank, medical treatment, and where you're even allowed to live. Researchers studying the system have compared its function directly to political apartheid. One defector, years later, described wanting to become a writer. He was assigned to a construction trade school instead. Not because of any test he failed, but because his parents were laborers, and laborers' children build things. They don't write things. That's not an exception. That's the design. You're 24. You meet someone. It's real. The kind of real that makes you forget, for a while, what your file says about you. Then, her family finds out about your background. In North Korea, Songbun is inherited, so marrying someone from a lower class doesn't just affect you. It drags your future children's rank down with it. So families quietly pay bribes to check a potential partner's ancestry before agreeing to a match. An entire underground background check economy built around bloodlines instead of money. One female defector from Ryanggang province put it simply: she couldn't find a husband at all because her parents had originally come from South Korea. which made her effectively untouchable to any family with a favorable songbun to protect. You watch the person you love choose their family's next 3 generations over you. You don't even blame them. That's the part that stays with you. Then, in the 1990s, everything that felt permanent almost breaks. The Soviet Union, one of North Korea's key economic lifelines, collapses in 1991. Between 1994 and 1997, droughts and floods devastate what's left of domestic agriculture. The state's ability to distribute food collapses along with it. Historians call it the arduous march. Hundreds of thousands of people, by most estimates, don't survive it. But out of that collapse, something the regime never designed for starts to grow: a black market. Ordinary people, the hostile class, low songbun people the system was built to keep powerless, start trading, smuggling, and quietly accumulating cash the old system has no rank for. Defectors call this rising class the donju, new money. For the first time in the system's history, wealth starts to matter almost as much as bloodline. For a moment, you let yourself believe the file isn't destiny after all. Then you learn the rule that makes all of it irrelevant. In 1972, Kim Il-sung issued a directive that's still in force today: guilt by association across 3 generations. Korean, yeonjwaje. It means that a single act the regime decides is disloyal doesn't just punish you, it punishes your parents, your children, and your grandchildren for decades, sometimes for life. Not because they did anything, because they share your blood. There's a real documented case of a military officer's son who simply said out loud that North Korea's economy needed reform. He was tried, branded a traitor, and executed. His own son, a grandchild who said nothing, did nothing, wasn't even born when the sentence was decided, was expelled from university and exiled along with the rest of the family. 3 generations, erased by one sentence spoken in a room he never entered. An estimated 120,000 political prisoners are currently held in labor camps under sentences that are often indefinite, not fixed, no release date, no appeal, no end in sight. Some children are literally born inside those camps and raised as prisoners from their first breath, punished for blood they didn't choose, for a sentence they never committed, serving a life term for a crime that happened before they existed. So here's the actual, complete picture. The donju black market can buy you a better life. It can even buy information about someone else's bloodline before you marry them. But it cannot buy your family out of a single disloyal sentence spoken 60 years ago, or a single sentence one of your descendants might speak 60 years from now. Your grandfather's silence during a war he didn't choose to fight built the file you were born into. Every rejection, every marriage that fell apart, every ceiling you hit was already written before you existed. And right now, whether you know it or not, the file is still open, still being written, one generation at a time, by choices that haven't even been made yet. That's not a dystopian movie. That's Songbun. It's real, it's active, and it's still deciding 26 million lives while you watch this.